Very big welcome to you, my dear Aquarius. So we are finally have your full moon, and that means you are getting the light from Leo, your opposite sign. So you have arrived in that moment where you're recognizing that Leo, who is giving you the light, is now shouting at you, saying, "Where are you?" Is saying, "Here you are. You have arrived in the full moon. I give you the light." And so there is a union happening here between these two today, on this day, the full moon in your sign, my dear Aquarius. You are the 11th house of friendship, right? And Leo is the 5th house of joy and happiness and fun. And so you are looking at Leo and you're like, yeah, I want to be wild. I don't want to just be up here a star being all glowing, and I want to have fun as well, right? And today is one of those days where we have like rain and then the sun comes and it's just like all over the place, and it's a lot of wind because you're an air sign, my dear Aquarius. So ruled by Uranus, the revolution, and here ruled by the sun, which is actually where Leo is at home right now. So he's happy to lead you the way. He's happy to let you know you have arrived. Wonderful. Let's have fun. Let's enjoy this moment together. And so here you can see how you are really looking at him, and he's calling you. And he has been calling you, right? And so from this moment on, the path is going back to you, right? Back to your deeper within. And just that you know, I also add the yoga position for you. It's side plank. You are becoming the star. And for Leo, it's Simhasana, is the lion's breath. So we're going to have a look today in what Leo is wanting to tell you, and at the same time also have you understood that when you have your full moon, you are actually now consciously understanding that the lion deep within you is there and that you want to incorporate that. Back to your last reading where you had Cancer Sun highlighting Aquarius Moon. Glow from the flow of love, 'cause wisdom is beautiful and ageless. So you meditated up on the mountain. Cancer Sun has given you the healing power, right? And you know that healing is important. We come here to manipulate energy, and so the King of Swords, which is your court card, has in this deck a masculine and a feminine king. Now you're free to choose which one is your kind of king, the samurai or the lady that stitches all the stars onto her dress, which has the pattern of Uranus, right? The planet of revolution. Is your birthday between January 9th and February 7th, then this is your court card. If not, look in the description below. So here, interesting enough, one would think that this is something modern, this is something new, that we have now a masculine and a feminine king. But I like you to know that the Visconti Tarot, one of the oldest intact tarot decks, all their court cards have a masculine and a feminine version of king, queen, knight, and pages. Just that you know, it's not something new. It has existed before, and this lady brought it to light as well. So we begin the reading today. We're going to the right because you're going to the full moon I changed again a little bit my reading style. It's just I am learning, and I used to read the full moon reading to the left, but now I'm going from the next reading on. I'm going to read all of them until your new moon. All of them, I'm going to read them to the left. And usually to the full moon, I read all of the readings to the right. So we begin on the position of the Fool. That's a state of consciousness that is bringing you the Hanged Man. And so here we have the number 12, the 1, the Magician, the 2, the High Priestess. You get the inspiration and the intuition to let yourself drop down into this path of deep consciousness, because now the moon is being highlighted by the sun, and you are having a very special moment, right? The full moon is that I have arrived up on the mountain. And interesting enough, right back here, it's almost like a sign that gave you, yes, you will arrive up here in the mountain meditating and be this beautiful light, right? The full moon light. And so here you get the state of consciousness that comes with it, is that I let myself hang upside down. It's a state of consciousness as well, the 12, the Hanged Man, which becomes a 3, then the Empress. You give birth to your state of consciousness here in a very conscious way. You see the color green here, you see his green leggings. Very powerful is that you are recognizing that you are arriving at a very high state of consciousness. Also, this is the card just before Scorpio, where we are really transforming, and so you are getting transformed through this moment here, right? The lion, the passion is calling you, which is actually that star that's up in the sky, and pretty much cold, right? And Leo is fire. Leo is that passion. Then on the position of the Magician comes here the Earth Keeper, the number 18. 1, the Magician, which is connecting here with the Magician in the hat, and you see the hand holding the hat, and so we don't know who that person is, right? The 8, the infinite symbol of the Strength card of Leo calling you. And also you are an 8 because you're the card number 17. And so 1 and 7 brings success to your life in that position that you are up there with the Taj Mahal, right? Just that you understand, this is a monument that was created for a very big love story. So here the Earth Keeper, then calculated together, becomes a 9. With the 1, a 10. Here you arrive in a new cycle, and this is what a full moon does, right? Now you go back down to yourself. And so here you recognize that the earth is calling you to open your wings and to show the world what are you made of, right? You let yourself hang. And it seems to me this time you become almost like a bat. Bats hang upside down, and here you open your wings and you fly ahead, right? Using the magic. The Magician can do anything to fly out into this world and create healing, right? Because the Earth Keeper is here to help the earth to evolve and all the creatures that live on it. On the position of the High Priestess comes you, the King of Swords. Now in this deck it's the Prince of the Chariots of the Winds, and you see he has the butterfly around his head. He's like on his chariot, and he is holding a lot of pentagrams, and he has the pentagram as the third eye above here in the center of his head. And you recognize now that the intuition that she is giving to you the 11th house of friendship. I cannot calculate that together. The 2 and the 11 stay separate. And so here is a moment of deep knowledge, deep intuition, that you are recognizing this powerful moment for you, right? That you are shining in the light, that you can show the world what a beautiful star you are. Then on the position of the Empress comes the Wheel of Fortune. And this is a French deck, La Roue de Fortune. And you can recognize here that she is literally letting you know the 3 and the 10 becomes a 13. That's Scorpio, right? And Scorpio is following then the Hanged Man. So in a way, there's already a symbolism in here through the number 13 that Scorpio is speaking to you here. That there is a big transformation following the Hanged Man. You're giving birth to a new state of consciousness. And yes, you are the king of air. The air and air elements are very strong in you. And so just notice this very auspicious moment for you now, that you have the 10 as that new beginning, a new cycle, and the 3 of the Empress, which gives birth, right? And she is just really, truly lovely. And so the number 13 then becomes a 4, and the 4 is the 4 elements, is the Emperor, is knowing that you have the power to control this dimension, right? The material dimension. And so, yes, you are knowing what you're doing, right? You are recognizing here, yes, I want to give my life a new meaning, because the Wheel of Fortune, which is connected with Jupiter, is coming to me. Then on the position of Leo, right? Leo as the power animal that now here is talking to you through the sun comes the High Priestess. So you get an 8 and a 2, that's a 10, right? So there is, in a way, a 10-10 portal now, but I also have the 3 above here. So nevertheless, right, you can see that if you listen to your intuition, you will know that you are always guided, very clearly guided through the phases of the moon, through your intuition, through everything that comes to you. You are guided. You're the King of Swords, and so you know that the High Priestess is speaking to you from a deep, deep soul connection, a wild side as well, because the soul is not tamed, the soul is wild. And so something is telling you, become strong in your intuition, right? Become really strong and practice that, knowing that your intuition is talking to you. And particularly today, there is this in the air, right? The air is filled with the magic, filled with this moment of full moon in Aquarius. Then, on the position of the King of Swords, and I put both of them above, comes the Emperor. Now this Emperor in this deck is a feminine Emperor. She has a masculine Emperor and a feminine Emperor as well. And I find it very interesting that she has created this double meaning. And you can see now that the Emperor, the card number 4 here, is this lady who is holding all these people on a leash. Now, for me, this is a sign that, yes, we do want to rule the people when we become an emperor, when we become a very important person. At the same time, we have to really be careful, because when you have the High Priestess next to the Emperor, it's a sign that know that you're powerful anyway. You don't need to exert this power, this kind of power where you're holding the people on a leash. And nevertheless, right, as an emperor, you have people working for you. And so just observe and just watch that here you are, who knows, the feminine king or the masculine king is ruling here, the emperor. So this is in the center of your reading. Then comes on the position of the star, comes the Four of Swords, which is Jupiter in Libra. And so we have, of course, the 4 that has come up on the position of the Empress with the Wheel of Fortune underneath, right? And so the 4 portal here saying, okay. And so there comes 3 times a 4 portal to you, saying that empowerment also needs heart, also needs knowledge, also needs intuition, also needs knowing that you up there need to look deep within and recognize the phases of the moon, how they influence you. And the moon is full right now, but you see how Jupiter in Libra is giving you a moment of going really deep within, recognizing the true power always is within, right? It's not in the outside. So here the emperor can only be powerful because he has deep within a very strong knowledge over how things function. And so you look up, you're hanging here in the moon, and you're looking up from the moon a stage higher than most people at the star that you are up here, and sitting like this beautiful dragonfly and looking into the human path. So you're meditating and you are recognizing that you need to come into an empowerment that is deep within you, because on the position of the moon comes the sky dancer. And that's you, right? This is the dragonfly that's up here, is now dancing the moon dance. And the moon, with all its dark sides that we don't know yet about ourselves, right, is inviting you to become a sky dancer, to surrender to this moment. The number 48, the 4 again, right, of the emperor, and of course of the 4 of Swords, and of course again the 4 with the Wheel of Fortune and the Empress. So the 9 of the 18 of the Moon card becomes then an invitation of completion, to recognize that the 48 becomes a 12, and then again calculated together a 3. The Empress that is giving birth to the Wheel of Fortune, the Empress that is saying everything is moving, nothing stays fixed. Everything is recreated again and again and again. And so here, spread your wings, is this moon saying, because on the position of the moon came the 4 of Swords, right? Allow yourself to dream yourself into being. Allow yourself to recognize that you are ready to surrender to this moment, to this very powerful moment here up in the sky, because the sun that is in Leo, right, and brought you the High Priestess, is giving you the equator, because on the equator the spin is faster than on the other parts of the earth. And so the sun as Leo is allowing you to see the equators black and white, right? The dualities that the High Priestess is fighting all the time, and she's pointing to the human path, into back to yourself, into the new moon, into the darkness, where you learn to rely on yourself. You don't need Leo, you don't need the call, right, of the lion that is saying, come to me. You go back to yourself and you see how she's pointing the path, because this is the number 5, and these are the 5 senses, right, that are speaking here to you. And the sun is giving you the power between the wild and the gentle, between the black and the white, and nevertheless there's a new world being formed in the equilibrium of these two. And that's what we also see with the sun here, with the bird that is covering her left eye, and that's her intuitive eye. Her intuitive eye is always dark, so the intuition is saying, well, continue. And you see that the king, the samurai, has also a bird over his eye, but it's his right eye. The bird is seeing with his right eye, and with the left eye he sees the situation. So recognize, right, that this dark consciousness is in the bird, and this bright consciousness is in the sun. And so everything comes with the yin and the yang, with a little dot in the dark and with a little light in the dark, right? Everything has its duality here in this dimension, and it's pointing forward to the last judgment, which is calling you. And here it's pointing at the condor, the cosmic doubt, or the ulcer. And I'm going to read you this card because it's really important, but maybe at first you want to stop the video and read it yourself, but I'm going to read it to you as well. So here speaks this bright fire to you, the number 44, right? So the 4 is really strong today. Candle and condor, hood and boulder, the macro, the micro, 2 locks on 1 door, 2 flames not the same, but lit from 1 match. Our fears show and ulcers grow. Trust the ether, light, you fears not sincere. We hide inside the burning doubt and out to shout, but don't. Treasures of others inspire covetous desire. Those avaricious bounties are pains, rains pulling at our bridled lives. Stop chomping at the wrong bits. The cosmic well has gifts etched only in your name if you will just unlock. Back to the cosmic doubt, but the cosmos is calling you to awaken. The 2 is here with the 44. I don't calculate that together. It's a portal. So the 2 stands all by itself, and she's calling you to come into your center, because you had here as well the 2 with the 11. Now you have a 2 with a 44. 2 times 4 is the creativity in your heart. 2 times the 1 is also the creativity in arriving, in knowing that you're the one. But you also begin the journey no matter where you're at. And so the journey continues back to a time where the cosmic doubt was very strong and you even had an ulcer. So I don't see an ulcer here, so this is not really an ulcer. This is just a deep fire burning, because Leo is fire and is calling you. It's calling you and it's saying, realize now that you have arrived at your opposite sign, and yes, I might bother you, I might be too much for you, I might create this cosmic doubt, right? Because it's like, how can such a sign be opposite of me? How can I, you know, be connected with that? Why should I even be connected with that? My path is past this, but it's not. You have to get into this to recognize that then the next position on the world comes Scorpio, death. So you have another 4 here with Scorpio and a 3, that's then the 7, and it's speaking about Cancer Sun, the last reading, because that was a 7, that was a success out. And now you recognizing this was your last station to the full moon, and glow from the flow of love, cause wisdom is beautiful and ageless. So wisdom you gain because you have transformed, and you recognize now the closing of here is that the pre-stage of the Hanged Man is that huge transformation. You see the moth coming out of this person's head and a new person is born. Recognize that this cosmic doubt has created that deep within you, and you are awakening, you are realizing, yes, something here is talking to you, because he's looking over to the death card. He's looking to that transformation, and he's like, oh, that's what it is when I die. I'm gonna transition through all of that, because when you really let go of your physical body, you go to the left, right? Then the whole reading goes from the Hanged Man to the Earth Keeper this way, and death would be here, right? And so you recognize now that something very powerful is speaking to you, because you need to see that the cosmic doubt is playing with us, right? And so here the Hanged Man is letting you know, well, hang upside down, do whatever it takes to transform, because this is a huge transformation. Always the full moon is made for that, right? And so here the last sentence is, stop chomping at the wrong bit. The cosmic well has gifts etched only in your name if you will just unlock, right? And you unlock. You are transforming, you are shifting, and you are literally watching that from a state of consciousness where you are like, okay, I got it. I'm transforming. I'm in the full moon, and now I'm going back to my new moon, and I have the message here that I realize, right, that the calling is so that I awaken. Always I awaken, and I will arrive at the 4. So you have a 4 here with the Empress and the Wheel of Fortune, right? And so this is a 13 with this, the 13. So there's a 13 portal framing the 44. So you have a 4, then you have a 4, and then you have the 4, and you also have a 4 in here, right? In the surrender, in the transformation. But then you have another 2 4s and a 4. So altogether we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times the 4. 6 is the third eye. You are opening your third eye, and you're transforming, and you're coming out, and you're recognizing, yes, this is where I understand that I am constantly changing and shifting and awakening and becoming whatever it is I want to become, right? Is it masculine or feminine that you want to become? Is it that intuition that you want to live? Is it finally you that you want to become, because you have the butterfly wings here, and here you are transforming into who you meant to become. I hope I see you in the next reading, because then we read to the left. We go back to the new moon, we go back to the soul, and we are then seeing the first reading with Virgo, right? Because the Earth is spinning in such a way that we see behind the sun the constellation Virgo. We don't have a 9 here, but we have the Earth Keeper, which is the 18, and 18 becomes a 9. So there is already Virgo speaking to you through the Earth as an Earth sign. And so until then, I thank you so much for being with me, and I wish you a beautiful full moon meditation and a path through this transformation. Namaste.